Hey guys, I'm Ivory. Today I felt like poking a little fun. I'm gonna be listing off all the things that beauty YouTubers do that bother me, irritate me, grind my gears, however you wanna call it. I have a feeling some people may feel a certain type of way, like I'm personally victimizing you.
How many of you have ever felt personally victimized by Regina George?
A lot of the things I'm gonna list, many people do. It's not just one single person. But that being said, even some of my closest YouTube friends do these things. So no one is safe in this video. But I do wanna make it clear that this isn't good fun. Just because someone does something that may irritate me or make me feel some type of way, it doesn't mean that that person is annoying. It just means that they do things that kind of annoy me, and that's okay. I'm sure I do things that annoy other people too. But this video as a whole is for fun, but you know, with a little bit of shade thrown in there to make things spicy. So there's no particular order, so don't think like the first thing I'm talking about is the most annoying thing to me. I was just writing them down as I was thinking of them. So the first thing that really annoys me is when people have super loud intros or outros, or both. It's really annoying when the volume of the intro or outro is so much louder than the actual video content, because once you hear the intro and then you set your volume to an acceptable level, and then the actual video happens and it's a lot quieter, and then you got to turn it up. I don't really like doing that. I like it when it's all around the same level of volume. But for me, it's even worse when the outro is very loud, because I watched the whole video at a certain level and then the outro happens, it's super loud and my headphones like vibrate, and it actually like scares me. I scare pretty easily. Have you ever been sleeping and you're watching a movie on cable, and like as you're drifting off to sleep, a commercial comes on and it's like super loud? It's like that. It's very like jarring. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. I'd rather have them all be relatively the same volume, please and thank you. The next thing that annoys me, I feel like Peter Griffin when he does that segment.
You know what really grinds my gears?
That is the energy I'm channeling right now. What annoys me is when people tell me that they're gonna update something in the description box or in the comments and then they don't do it. Like when they're trying on a foundation and they're not really doing a wear test, and they promised in the video that they would update you, if not through video, then at least through text, how the foundation wore, and then you're looking all over for an update and it's not there. And similarly, when they're talking about a product and they're like, oh, I can't remember the name, but I'll try and find it and I'll link it in my description box below, and then they don't do it. Like, you made that promise to us. I didn't make you make that promise. You did it on your own accord. So how are you gonna make that promise and then not deliver? The disrespect. I'd rather the person just not say anything, because then I don't have to go looking for this thing that they promised and it's not there. I just end up looking like a fool, and you end up looking like a liar. The next thing is when people make first impressions on foundations, and that's the whole video. And it's only foundation that bothers me. If they do a first impression on concealer, eyeshadow, blush, whatever, for whatever reason, that doesn't bother me, but foundation really bothers me when they do a first impression on it. Because to me, it's a cop-out. They know the product is probably hot. They wanna strike while the iron's hot. So they do a first impression without having to do the work of doing a wear test. So they slap on the foundation and they just show like, oh, it's good coverage. Oh, it looks really nice. To me, it's just lazy. You can tell this one actually like really bothers me. It's lazy, and to me, it's useless. I don't care how a foundation looks initially. I want to see how it wears over time. And I think most people do too. Why don't you actually do the work, put on the foundation, wear it for at least a whole ass day, and then make a video? And that video will be so much more valuable. The next thing that bothers me is when people don't tell me what shade they're using. I do have channels where I know that we are foundation twinsies, so I follow them specifically because if I'm interested in a foundation, I can either just look in the description box or I could just listen to the video and they'll say what shade they are and I'll know which one to grab. But they're not consistent in telling me what shade they are. So like, I know that we're foundation twins because in some videos they have said what shade they used and I'm like, okay, that's the same one I use. But then in another video, they'll do a review on a foundation and then they won't say what the shade is. And I'm just like, I need help. And I'm just stuck looking online, looking at the models and being like, what do I do? That's why I always try to cover my bases. Whenever I do a wear test, I try to verbally say in my video what shade I'm using. And if I, for whatever reason, forget, I always put it in my description box so that there's at least one place where you can find the shade I'm using. And in general, it's good practice because you have no idea how many people comment telling me like, oh my God, we're foundation twinsies. So like, that's why they follow me. So it's really a two-way street, because then people follow you because you're the same foundation shade as them. But also by you telling them what shade you are, they can actually get that shade, and it saves them a lot of time as well. The next thing is not so much what beauty YouTubers do in their videos, but what they do to me. It really annoys me when other beauty YouTubers come onto my channel and comment solely to promote their own channel. It's one thing to be a sub for sub person, which if people aren't familiar with, it means subscribe for subscribe. Like if I subscribe to you, you will subscribe to me. It's one thing to be like that, but it's another to try and mask it like you came here for good intentions, but I see right through it. The most comment I get from people who just want me to subscribe to them is always, oh my God, you're so cute. Great great video. Thanks for sharing this. I create videos as well. It's so generic, and also it's always, you're so cute. It's always that compliment. Let's be real. You don't think I'm that cute and you didn't watch the video. The way I have networked, and I don't want to say networked because the people that I'm subscribed to, I genuinely like them. The way I connected with them is because I actually watched the video and I enjoyed their content. I never subscribe to people with the intention that I hope they subscribe back to me. I engage way more often than normal to smaller channels because I know what it's like to be in that boat. Like every single comment really matters, but I'll comment something meaningful, give my opinion. I never promote that I have my own channel. That's actually something that I'm really proud of. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot my own horn. I've been fortunate enough that my channel has grown organically as opposed to me pressuring people to come to my channel to support me. So to the people that comment down below, like, I create videos as well. First of all, I know that you're a beauty channel because next to their name, it will say how many subscribers they have. So I already know if they have a channel or not. Usually if they leave a nice and insightful comment where clearly they're engaging with the actual video content, I will go to their channel and I will see if I like their channel as well. And if I do, I subscribe and I comment and engage, and that'll be that. But the minute you say I create videos as well, let's face it, your intentions on my channel are not pure. You're coming here for your own self-gain and I don't appreciate it. I could go on forever about this, but let's just move on. The next annoying thing is super long videos. I'm talking videos longer than 25 minutes. Now, there are exceptions to this. If the video is very intriguing and engaging, that's fine. First of all, I watch everything on 2x speed no matter what. Even if I don't really understand what's happening because the words are happening so fast, I hear just enough of the sentence to sort of get what they're trying to say, but I don't want to go back and rewatch what they say, and I really don't want to slow down because the minute, even if I go 1.5 speed, I'm like, oh my god, they're talking so slow. So everyone is always on 2x speed. But if your video is 30 minutes long and you're just going through the motions and like talking about what you're doing, it's kind of boring to me because I can just watch what you're doing and I'd rather you be talking about, I don't know, something about your life. I can just watch what you're doing. You don't have to be so teachery about like the exact placement unless I'm searching for that video. But a lot of the times I'm not. I just feel like so many videos and tutorials have been made so people already have a good understanding of product placement and technique. So it's kind of like one of the things where you don't have to say it because we already know. Like I said, if I'm looking for a video specifically about where to place the product, that is very different. But if you're just doing a tutorial and you're going through every single step, it's just not necessary and it makes the video way longer than it needs to be. The next thing is when people have too much space above their head. Now I can see on my viewfinder, so there's like a little bit of space above my head on the screen. This is the shit I'm talking about, when there is too much space at the top. Girl, there's so much space. Fill it up. Even this is too low. I think the problem is that people think that their head needs to be at the center of the screen. So that's why they're so low, because like the amount of space here and the amount of space down here is pretty much equal. Don't do that. Sit up straight, tilt the camera a little bit like this and fill up the space. It looks way more professional, right? And I also really hate when people have their cameras up too high and they're tilted down. There are people who literally do tutorials and videos like this. It's very MySpace. And as you know, MySpace is dead. So this needs to die too. The next thing is when people don't look at the camera. You see, I'm making eye contact as if the camera is the audience, like I'm looking at you. I know it takes a little bit of practice, but there are a lot of people who film like this, that look at the viewfinder instead of at the actual camera. And it just seems really unprofessional to me. Do you see? I'm like, it seems like I'm not engaged with you. It seems like I'm just into myself. And that's how I see it. And like I said, I know it's something to get used to. I know I definitely looked at the viewfinder a lot because it's just something to focus on. It's one thing to look at yourself during Zoom or Skype, but when you're filming a YouTube video, eye contact with the lens. The next thing is when people film with loud background noises. There are people who film with kids playing in the background, and I understand if you are a parent and you have kids and you can't help it, they're awake and they're playing, fine. But some people don't even try. They're just like, oh, my kids are just playing in the background. I'm just like, why don't you just tell them to, like, for a little bit, just like keep it down a little bit, or play in a different room, or go play outside? Like, are none of those things an option? And let's just take out kids for a second, because I don't want to seem insensitive. Like, some people can't help it. You know, kids are a part of their everyday life and they may have become desensitized to the noises, so they don't realize it. But some people even keep TV on while they film. Like, I can hear a TV show in the background and I'm like, you didn't even think to turn that off while you film? So then the TV is distracting. And also sometimes the TV is in the frame, so I can also watch. So that light source is also distracting. And then on top of that, they're talking over something that could just easily be turned off. And to piggyback off of background noises, I also really hate horrible audio. When the microphone has a little bit of a hissing sound, or it's just bad quality, or when Do you ever notice some cameras when they're filming, it has like that little shutter sound and it's like you hear clicking and it's throughout the entire video, you just hear like that little clicking sound. Oh my God, it bothers me so much. I don't understand how people can edit their own videos, hear that and not be irritated by it. And the microphone that I use, it does have a hissing sound and it was something that I was aware of. But while I was editing my videos, I had to tweak the audio to reduce that sound so people really don't hear it anymore. But it's because I made the effort to actually fix something that was bothering me and probably other people. And I just don't understand why people can't just do that extra step, because it really isn't a lot of work. It's actually very little work, but it makes a big difference. Horrible audio is one of the things that will make me completely click out of a video. The other things that I'm talking about, like no shade reference, super loud intros and outros, they're annoying, but if I like the person, it's something I can bear with. It's just an annoying thing about them. But horrible audio, it's a deal breaker for me. The next thing is when, I guess not just a beauty YouTuber, but just YouTubers in general apologize for things that no one gave a shit about. I'm talking about when they get on camera and they're like, oh my God, my hair is so crappy. I'm so sorry. And first of all, it's just to grab compliments, like their hair is perfect. Or when they're pointing at something and they're like, oh my God, my nails, they're a mess. Like, I know I'm gonna hear it in the comments. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it in the first place, but then you mentioned it, so now I am thinking about it. And the last thing is when people do wear tests that are less than 9 hours. Anything less than 9 hours to me is not a wear test. And I'm being lenient because you guys know that 10 hours is my minimum. So I'm already reducing my requirement for other people by an hour. But when people do a wear test for less than 9 hours, to me, that is not a thorough review. I'm not gonna say who, but there was this YouTuber and she had over 800,000 subscribers. She did a wear test on a foundation. She wore it for 5 hours and then said, it looks really good on me still, so I recommend this and I would wear this again. When I heard 5 hours, my eye was like twitching. Again, it's like the same idea of people who do a first impression on a foundation and that's the whole video. It's just lazy to me. They don't want to wear the foundation for the whole day. They don't want to check in. So they wear it for a little bit of time and hope that that suffices. And to me, that doesn't fly. But that is my list. I would love to hear in the comments what annoys you about other beauty YouTubers. Maybe I missed one. And just to show you I'm a good sport, if there's something about me that annoys you, feel free to comment it below. I can take it. I can take it, right? Can I take it? I can take it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below what other videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!